All right, let's go. Let's go.
This is going to be a good one.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of the Generational Run. I'm Dylan. This is Dad. I kind of forgot what episode we're on, but we're just going to roll with it. It's like 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, today's a huge one. I've been looking forward to this for a while.
Oh, man.
The whole episode's pretty much going to be Spider-Man. We're going to talk a little bit about, some news, what's going on, because there was a huge thing at SDCC, so we're going to talk about that a little bit, but mainly the entire episode is just going to be straight Spider-Man, baby. Brand new day came out, and we haven't really talked about it that much at all, especially what we think about it. So we are getting each other's reviews. We're going to do a little bit of non-spoiler, and then we're just going to hop into spoilers because it's been a week. And we'll give you guys the heads up when we start talking about spoilers, so you can click off and just come back whenever you've seen the movie, so we don't totally ruin it for you, even though I'm sure social media probably already has ruined some of it for you.
Yeah.
Because some of them aren't that big of a deal. But, if you want to wait.
A lot of it's a letdown.
That's cool.
Too.
Okay. All right.
So anyway.
News, Dad. What's up? What's up?
Nothing really. Let me see. Have you seen, they're really popping out cast for X-Men. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the chick that they got.
Samara Weaving?
Yeah.
For Emma Frost?
For Emma Frost.
Yep.
She is one of those actresses that ain't afraid to get in there and get nitty gritty and stuff. She does, she's been in a few things. I'm not very familiar with her work, but I know that she's been in some of those, I don't know, man. These
she was in that
horror movies,
Ready or Not,
like
or
Ready or Not. That's
it.
That's it.
Yeah.
But she seems to be pretty tough and get in there. I mean, certainly very pretty. I think that she'll bring a really good attitude to Emma.
And then did you see today? And I always kept trying to figure out if it was true or not, but they cast Cyclops.
Yeah,
that Kit Cooper guy. I don't know who that is at all. I know one of the front runners was Drew Starkey, which you probably don't know who he is.
No,
he was one of the main actors in Outer Banks, that TV show that like teens treasure hunt TV show that actually I enjoyed. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I think it's Nicholas Chavez, who was he played in that documentary that they did of the two brothers that murdered their parents.
Oh, the Menendez brothers.
Yeah,
thing.
So Nicholas Chavez was one of the actors that played one of the brothers. Dude, if you look him up, that should have been the green light. Like, he's got kind of the middle parted hair, almost kind of like how James Marsden had it back in the 2000s. X-Men, and people were fan arting him, putting the glasses on him. Dude, he looks phenomenal.
Really?
But I think they already went with that Kit Cooper guy or Kit whatever. I don't know who he is, but he looks like he'd be pretty good. So but there was a couple people in the running for that was really good for Cyclops.
I mean, other than that, unless other than just always hearing the numbers on Spider-Man, all that good stuff. I mean
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We didn't talk about that.
Gracious.
Yeah. Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Which one do you think he'll be?
I'm hoping that it'll just be good old Johnny Blaze.
I think that if they're gonna, is it Danny Ketch? Is that his
Danny
name?
Ketch. Yeah. I think that they will probably go. I hope so, but I hope they don't really pound too much on an origin. So I'm hoping this isn't really like an origin reboot. I don't know. So we'll just have to see and hope for the best, man. Because I don't want to see Ryan wasted on, an origin. Because I'm going to be honest, man. That's a big pair of shoes to fill, in my opinion, of Nick as
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, because I thought he did a pretty good job. I think of course, the writing and the different things, and I don't think that Ghost was appreciated as much. But I mean, that's a big, that first movie, that's a big one to kind of beat, I think. Wasn't a big fan of Peter Fonda. I think Sasha, if he comes in and continues to be Mephisto in it, things like that, if we see some of that, some of the real kind of MCU-ish kind of, because they had another guy doing him with the Nick Cage movies and all that. Everybody's saying that they need to bring back the girl that was in the Nick Cage movie. That's who Ryan is married to in real life.
Oh,
yeah. So they were saying how funny that would be if they did something like that. But we'll have to see. I'm just trying to, I don't know if they're really putting a whole lot out there. There was a lot of stuff that came out of SDCC, man.
I'm not
of crazy stuff.
I like the Ryan Gosling thing because I did some digging, and apparently he had been I think him and Kevin Feige had been in the talks for 5 or something years, for a while.
Gotcha.
And that's one of those actors where if they're persistent for years on wanting to play a character, they're not doing it for like the paycheck.
Mhm.
Like he probably has had some sort of story that he wants to go with, and I think he cares about the character, and I think that like him being like ambitious about playing him to Kevin Feige, dude, I'm sure he's probably going to kill it. And
Yeah.
I think they know what they're doing. Apparently, and now a lot of people are up in arms about it because what's his name? Oh gosh. People were upset online about who the director is for it. He directed Deadpool and Wolverine. Levy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, Levy. I always forget his name. It's like
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy that directed Deadpool and Wolverine, people are kind of pissed off about that.
Huh.
So I don't really know. And then Black Panther.
Yeah.
The David Johnson guy. I don't know who he is.
I know who he is.
He's in a couple huge movies because he was in Alien Romulus and he was in The Long Walk, which had Mark Hamill in it. I think it was based off of a novel. I think it was Stephen King. But
yes, Stephen King.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know anything about him. I am kind of bummed. And this is no discredit towards him, but like, dude, Damson Idris, the guy from Snowfall, he was an F1. Dude, he is a like looks like he'd be a phenomenal Black Panther.
Yeah.
Just because I've seen more of his stuff, and I'm like, yo, this guy's got it.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I'm sure David Johnson will be great. But those are probably the two biggest things that happened at SDCC was that. Oh, and they showed, which I haven't seen yet because I can't find it. I mean, I've been on Twitter forever trying to find it, but the new Doomsday trailer. They showed they showed a new one there that had more footage that I heard was better than the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and then well, it's not like they said they were going to show it, but like I was hoping I was going to seeing Spider-Man like either before or after.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was going to be like a before thing or if they were going to do a No Way Home style thing where at the end of No Way Home they had the Multiverse of Madness trailer for the next Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I was hoping we would either get like a post-credit scene that's just the new Doom trailer, or we'd get it before, but we never got it. So I've been trying to find it, but I can't find it.
Yeah.
Someone recorded it while they were live streaming on Kick when they were in there. But you know, you can never make out what it is. It's always
Dude,
like
if they got caught, they were probably shot by
they
firing
would, dude.
squad,
They would. They'd execute them probably.
Yeah.
But yeah. So SDCC was pretty cool. There was a bunch of good stuff in there, but that's probably the biggest stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you know, a lot of good. Have you watched 97 yet?
No.
I'm telling you, man.
I know.
X-Men 97.
I know. How many episodes are they at right now?
Tier 5, 6.
Have you watched all of them?
Oh yeah, man.
Is it all good?
The most recent one too is just phenomenal. Following great stories.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, man. You gotta watch that.
I know. I gotta tap in.
I mean, it's way better than
Michael's.
Invincible.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh, is it not? Dude, that's actually kind of that's a
no, man. I won't say that because I would have to really sit there and pound the gray matter on that, man, because it's just so good, man, with some of the storylines and the people they're bringing into the mix and just the whole entire apocalypse thing, you know.
And you've got 4 seasons of Invincible compared to like
Yeah.
a season and a half of X-Men.
Yeah.
And, you know, Invincible has only gotten better and X-Men's only getting better, so it's kind of you can't really it's hard to compare those two that are both like peak.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Michael Cox, he was on for our Odyssey review. He's been watching it a lot. But I need to tap in and start watching it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's just I've heard it's peak.
Good stuff.
So, yeah. I didn't watch any X-Men movies this week.
I didn't either.
I was really just
didn't have a
prepping
chance,
for this, trying to figure this out so we could do. Well, I mean, I've seen Spider-Man twice now, so I've really just been trying to get my thoughts together on this and just prepare myself for this episode. But I'll probably watch a couple next week.
Well, I will say this, that I did watch on the plane. I watched some Spider-Man 3, and we'll eventually probably float into the subject of it, but I tell you, I got a little bit of a change of
wow,
you know,
okay.
a little bit with the whole Toby thing. But anyway, we'll
awesome.
hit on that.
Yeah, so this episode's straight Spider-Man. I don't know how much I don't know how long we're gonna be. We could be a little bit just because this is something we could talk about for hours. But basically, yeah, we saw Brand New Day. Obviously, I've seen it twice. Dad was out of town. I watched it without him, and then when he got back into town, I went after work and watched it with him this past Monday. And so basically, I think so. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give our reviews for it. We're gonna rank it out of 10. Man, I'm getting nervous like thinking about what you're gonna say. We're going to rank it out of 10. And then once we talk a little bit of non-spoilers, stuff that we like, dislike, and then spoilers, we're going to rank all 9 of our favorite live action, just because I feel like they're a little more comparable to do so than the Spider-Verse one. So we're going to compare all of our live action, and then we're actually going to do a suits ranking of our favorite suits. I think there's about 11. We're not going to do the I didn't include the hoodie suits and the homemade suits. I only did the regular ones. Like I didn't do Toby's like Shiesty, and I didn't do Tom's goggles and
Yeah,
Andrew. Like
no,
I
I
didn't
get
include
it.
those. I only included like the good ones, the real suits. But yeah, you got your oh gosh, it's been sitting with me for a
I'm gonna
little
let
bit.
you go ahead and go first.
You got your
And
ranking? Like
I
out
mean,
of 10, do you know, don't say it right now, but out of 10, do you have what you have for it?
yeah. I mean, as far as my out of 10,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me think of mine for a second, and then we'll say it at the same time, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think because it's been sitting with me for a little bit and I've been fluctuating. Um
Yeah, I did some studying a little bit, just some of the things, and yeah. So
okay. All right. Okay.
yeah,
All right. You ready? All right.
yeah.
Here are our scores for Spider-Man Brand New Day out of 10. 3, 2, 1, 8.5. Whoa! You are way lower than I thought you were going to
6.
be.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'll even say maybe high 6s. I'll even give it that a little.
I
bit
mean,
if I really got
okay.
nitty-gritty.
All right.
mean,
Okay, so we're
yeah.
very far off. We could talk non-spoilers. Since you're lower, I'll let you go first. What were some things that you actually enjoyed non-spoiler wise when it comes to the action, the visual effects, the web slinging,
Well, let's
just
just
the
talk
characters?
blatantly. I mean, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but obviously, if they're watching this, hopefully they've seen it.
No,
But
no.
I mean,
Well, are you about to say who she is?
who? Oh,
Well,
I
like
mean,
non-spoiler, like things that we enjoyed
dude, my brain don't work like that. I'm not good at keeping
dude.
stuff. I
Just
mean,
talk about the stuff that you
just
liked.
because Wonder Woman's in it, I mean,
No, what's the like? Okay, I'll just go for. I'll talk
yeah,
about what I like.
do it. Yeah,
Okay,
let me.
so
And then
just some non-spoiler stuff. I think, in my opinion, I think it's the best. How do I put it? Okay, the stuff that you get from a Spider-Man movie, this is some of the best that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I will say that.
Just the introduction of his like his monologue at the beginning, and when he's web at the beginning when he jumps off the building and he's web slinging chasing the tank, dude, it is just so TASM 2. It is some of the best web slinging, some of the best visual effects that we've seen since TASM 2. I don't think any of the Tom Holland movies really had that just web slinging and the good VFX that we had. And the guy that was on TASM 2 for the visual effects, he worked on this movie. So in terms of the web slinging and the way that the angles of the cameras that were shot, just everything about it was just so, like, the mask shot is still so good. It's so creative.
Yeah, they did that with Stark and everything. They would show the inside of the mask and all that. So I was kind of happy that they did.
And
that
the
with
details
him,
too, because when you're looking inside the mask for the second, when you hear him breathing, there's like the little orange lights on the lens that showed what he was looking at, like Stark. So I loved that kind of stuff. I love the coloring. His suit was clearly phenomenal. And we'll get to suits in a little bit, and I'll talk about where I have it in my ranking. The action was incredible. It's probably the best action that we've had in a Tom Holland movie out of his trilogy up until now. I mean, No Way Home had a bunch of good action, the apartment scene and the Statue of Liberty scene, but out of all 4 of his movies now, I really think No Way Home had really the only decent action in it. Homecoming's action was terrible. Far From Home didn't really have much, except for really, I mean, the No Way Home stuff was cool, fighting the drones, and then when he was up on the catwalk using the Spidey sense, that was cool. But I think this is the best action we've had in a Spider-Man movie in a super long time. In a super long time. Yeah, I mean, him and Punisher's banter and relationship was phenomenal. Just hilarious, dude. Hilarious. I mean, from the moment that you see him when he gets hit by the car, I mean, they're going at it. They start mentioning how they had like an incident on Staten Island, which is like an ongoing joke through the movie. That's just always, every time they bring it up, it's hilarious. And then when they're fighting Hulk, it's just funny. So that, and that's not really a spoiler. You see them in the trailer doing that. So that stuff is, I just thought it was so much fun. It's just good. It was very grounded. Oh, I loved the buddy cop thing he had with DeWolf. I think that's really cool, and I was thinking about that on the way here because I really like that kind of friendship he had with with like a police with a detective, because even in the TASM movies, the cops always hate Spider-Man. They think that he's like a threat to their job and that they're doing things that they should be doing, and even some civilians complain about it. But I like that he actually had a relationship with her and that
Mhm.
they were really cool, and she was helping him with stuff, he was helping her with stuff. Because I was thinking about it on the way here, there's not a lot of Spider-Man movies where there's any extra like side characters. It's like all of them have been like Avengers superhero side characters, and then you've had like Ned and MJ. But
Mhm.
now we have more like grounded levels, side characters that aren't superheroes, right?
Mhm.
Like like DeWolf and stuff. So I really enjoyed that kind of friendship he had with her. Um, it's not a huge spoiler. I'll say it. Yelena was funny. The pool scene when he
Mhm.
first meets her was really funny. Big potato stuff, small potato stuff. I thought that was
Yeah.
funny. The memes about that going on are hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought that just a lot of the little things that make it a Spider-Man movie, it was just a Spider-Man movie.
Mhm.
There was no Avengers level universe-ending threat. It was a grounded story, something that the fans that we've been asking for a long time. That was good, just well written. Yeah, I mean, those are a lot of my like non-spoiler stuff that I thought about that I loved about
Mhm.
it, and then we'll talk more about the story and stuff
Mhm.
when we get into spoilers. But if you want to add anything and talk about stuff that you like, go ahead.
Yeah, so I always try to think. I was kind of analyzing. I loved to kind of piggyback on the relationship with the police. I really loved that. It showed the grounded Spider-Man, like everybody has the trust in him. When you think about it, when he went through, when the spell was cast and everything, and everybody forgot him. I mean, you got to remember he has a clean slate across the board. Now, we didn't see anything of any you know, um, which it would have been kind of fun to see something of now what Jameson has to say about him, but we never got anything of any kind of Daily Bugle or J. Jonah Jameson or anything like that. So what we have is we have an entire society world that has no clue what Spider-Man has. So he got that fresh, clean slate because if you remember, I mean, that was the whole reason why all that chaos went nuts was because of the of being
Like the world knowing who he
the
is.
world knowing who he was and hating him because of the whole far away from home
Mysterio thing.
Mysterio
Yeah.
scandal and all that kind of stuff. So man, he got a clean break from that. So he continued to do what he does and save and do good and things like that. And so,
Hmm.
the cops finally saw that and now they're kind of, so I did like that. I did like that, I mean, he's walking through these buildings and everything,
In his
full
suit.
suit,
Yeah, I
full
love that.
garb.
I
Nobody's,
love that, dude.
nobody's trying to tackle him and take it off. No one's, whatever. I mean, that ain't like the Batman where 50 cops tried grabbing him to
Right.
pull it off and all that kind of stuff, so there's that trust there. And I think that comes just from the whole world now seeing right out of the gate after the spell that
He's a
he's
good guy,
just he's
and they
a
trust
good
him.
guy, man.
Right.
So yeah, so that was great. Yeah, some of the fighting, I was watching something that there's a lot of the fighting that's patterned after some of the stuff that went on in the books and everything, not just the little flashback fight,
The comic book cover
yeah, like the
remakes and all
boomerang
that.
and
That
all
was
that
cool.
stuff,
Yeah.
all that. So and the fight choreography and everything was good. I think we got a pretty good seasoned Spider-Man. In
Hmm.
fact, I would almost like wonder what this Spider-Man would do now, say against, like uh in well, like against Green Goblin and those
Hmm.
guys from the other movie, because I think he's just gotten that much more, skilled at
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's been Spider-Man for now.
Yeah.
He's 22, 23 in the movie.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, he's 7-year
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Like he's probably honed in
Yeah.
on his craft a lot more
Yeah.
now. Dude, but just to go back to the action, dude. I mean, that intro was so much fun with the music playing.
Mhm.
And when he thwips and smokes Scorpion with the piano, and then he's on top of that building fighting those goons, and then it's right before he remakes the cover of him holding the guy in the suit.
Yeah.
But dude, the choreography was just so good. I didn't notice it the first watch, but the second watch I noticed he like is thwipping, rolling around. He does it behind the back, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like he's just so in tune with who he is
Mhm.
and knows what he's doing now. That is just so good.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you noticed this, they slow-moed it, but golly, it's one of my favorite parts of the movie when he thwips the tank and it flips and breaks through the building, but he somehow gets in front of it and he thwips and takes his web and almost like clotheslines that group of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
into the wall to save them. And when you watch it, the way that they just did it, it just made
Yeah.
sense, and it didn't look like he just pulled the web somewhere. Like it made sense on where it was going and
Yeah.
how he brought it. Dude, it was redonkulous. Like the way just
Yeah.
their thinking throughout this movie, like everything made sense. Like
Mhm.
it was just so good. But yeah, the action
Yeah.
was great. I loved
Yeah.
it.
Um, so yeah, so the more mature. Um, do we talk about things we don't like?
I know you like Punisher though, because when he got hit by the van, I looked over at you and you started freaking out just because
Yeah.
you. Oh, and I'm glad we'll talk about the things we don't like in a second. But I'm curious to know, after this movie and seeing more of John Bernthal, where does he rank amongst your three live action Punishers: Thomas Jane, Ray Stevenson, and John Bernthal? Do you think he's the GOAT, or are you still a big Thomas Jane guy? What do you think?
Man, I love Thomas Jane and I like Ray Stevenson too, man. But I would probably have to just, I mean, I'd have to just go with Barenthal.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and it's not even for how Billy bad he is. It's for how broken he is from losing his family. I mean,
dude.
every Punisher is destroyed. I
Yeah.
mean, Thomas, the way that his family died in that movie,
Mm-hmm.
different, but just and man, that little short show that they had too, man, that
Yeah.
they had,
Oh, dude, I watch it. I
dude,
watch it all the time.
it is heart wrenching
Mm-hmm.
watching Barenthal. You really think he lost his
You
family,
feel
dog?
for him.
I mean,
And that's another
yeah,
that's
it's
another thing I wanted
crazy.
to touch on too, was the emotional impact this movie has on you, because when you talk about Spider-Man and how he's a relatable character, dude, the stuff he's
Hmm.
going through with MJ and Ned, like, makes you feel like do I have, like, is this like like you hurt for him. And
Hmm.
like even there's a bit with there's a scene when MJ is looking and sees his family on the thing, and he's like, and he snaps like John, like John Bernthal. It's like, and now granted, if you see that and you've never watched the Netflix show, you probably don't know what it means. But the Netflix show also, like you said, does a great job at, like, God, you feel for this guy, because they really hone in the first season of like what happened to his family, and you really see what went down, and you see how broken and lonely and how hurting he
Hmm.
is. And then even in the what is it, the Last Kill
Yeah.
Disney special, when they show him at the cemetery and he's about to end it all, it's like dude, when you watch his Punisher from the show to even Daredevil Born Again season 2, or season 1 episode 4, to his special, it's like, dude, you feel so much for this guy.
Hmm.
And I think that they did a good job with Tom and in the Spider-Man movie with him, because you really feel what he's going through with MJ not knowing him, and
Hmm.
Ned, and we'll get to a couple scenes that really
Hmm.
really wrench your gut a lot.
I think too. I think also that there is something after watching, and I want to watch it again just for more of the interaction between him. Is that somehow I think that the Punisher, that John's Punisher, we'll put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he almost even because we don't know much. We know that they've had interaction, things like that, and I'm not quite sure if the Punisher knows what this particular, what Holland's Spider-Man has gone through, something like that. But I almost feel that Barenthal's Punisher almost kind of looks to him, and I think that there's like almost some peace that he kind of tries to find from him in
Yeah.
his situation. That there's always hope, and there's
Mhm.
still good out there. Different things
Especially
like that.
at the end when
Yeah,
they're at the.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like there's still
yeah, I agree.
and I think that it's almost like he's, I don't want to say dependent, but you know what I mean? He kind of is encouraged. I don't even know if encouraged is really the right word, but because for him, for even John to even partner up in the first place
Right.
with all that stuff, and then you find him, go home,
Go home, Frank.
and go home, Frank.
I'm gonna
Like,
kill that
dude,
kid.
the classic meme of the,
Yeah, yeah,
as Punisher's laying waste. So,
yeah.
I think that, but also you see how he came to him like, man, I have nowhere else to go, because he knows if it's got to get dirty, he knows where he's got to
Right,
go to,
right.
so there's almost like a reliance on each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
really respect it. I liked that.
Yeah, and I like that because you feel that they can count on each other, and you know that they have a history because, like I
Yeah.
said, they mentioned the Staten Island thing. So there's some off-camera interaction that we don't get to see,
Yeah.
but you can tell that it's almost built their friendship in a way because of that, and their banter because of it is just so good. And yeah,
Mhm.
you really see that trust that they have with each other, and how they don't necessarily say it or act like it, but there is a little bit of reliance that they have where if
Yeah.
they need something, they can definitely come to each other. And I like that a lot. And just
Mhm.
their chemistry off camera too. I mean, John and I don't know if you know, but John and Tom, they filmed each other's audition tapes for Tom filmed his for Punisher and John filmed Tom's for Spider-Man. And they've known each other since, Tom was like 15, 14 years old. So they have that really good chemistry off camera that just really flowed in the movie. But yeah, like I said, the emotional factor was there for sure. Yeah, just so much good stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, if I think the stuff that I don't like will be in our spoiler talk. But what are some? Do you have anything that you didn't like that wouldn't spoil it, or do we just need to hop into spoilers? Because I know your biggest gripe is in spoilers. So if you want to just go ahead and skip to that, we can.
Well, I guess like I kind of was when we talked just briefly and everything. As much as I loved it and I think that it was good, I don't know. I was more than, well, I guess I mean, Punisher aside, if the Hulk wasn't in the movie, it wouldn't have it would have made no difference.
Right.
I
I remember
understand.
you told me that. We didn't talk about it, but you did tell me that.
I understand going to him, trying to find, the whole, it was great to see Savage hold back. It really was. But at the same time, if we didn't have him there, it wouldn't have made no difference. Do I feel like they kind of shoehorned him in a little bit? Kind of.
I mean, because at the end of the day, he was really just one of her pawns, So if you take him out, nonetheless, she's still he would still find a way to put the inhibitor chip on her and figure it out. So he was really just a pawn to really try to stop Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
in a sense, I kind of understand what you're saying. But I do think again it just sparked that level of action that we needed, that we love,
for sure.
There's a hallway scene when he's fighting the Hulk where the camera's almost turning and he's crawling on the walls like a spider, thwipping them, getting them all webbed up right before he does the thunderclap. And that's my favorite shot in the whole movie because of how he looks.
Mhm.
And there's another scene, I think later on, when or it might have been before that, but when he tried to grab him or something, and then he disappears and he turns around and he's just on his back.
Yeah.
I'm like, just like the lizard in TASM 1. It's like that, like those little aspects of the spider stuff is just so good and brilliant to me, where it just makes sense for his character, and they did it so well in that.
Yeah.
So in a way, maybe it didn't do anything crazy for the plot in terms of he was just another pawn to try to stop him, but it was action, man.
Yeah,
and
it was
the Hulk that we
it.
needed, that we never had, that we haven't had since Age of Ultron. So I mean,
but I
it was
still,
fun.
like I said, I still think we could have had him back, like towards the end when they finally stormed the building and all of that. There could have, I mean, we could have had maybe at least another 10 or 15 minutes more of the Hulk just doing what he does.
Wait, when they stormed the building,
like when they stormed Damage Control, when they were trying to find Jean. When
there it is. Oh. Oh my! I'll mute it.
Yeah,
don't worry.
Just mute it, because I mean I'm doing the best I can.
No, you're good. You're good.
But
well,
when they're trying to find
so
Submariner.
Submariner.
Yeah, that's what they call him, Submariner. The guy from Ironheart and all of that.
I didn't watch
yeah.
all that,
Anyway,
no. That's funny.
So, but yeah, so they're trying to get in there. When they storm it, looking for her and everything. That would have been kind of a fun kind of thing. Like they send, you go find her. We'll hold these guys off.
And he goes,
like,
"Are you just trying to avoid fighting the Hulk?" And he goes, "Yeah, I guess so."
Yeah,
dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
And then the camera when she's looking at the cameras and they're just fighting. He's like, "Dude, it's so." Funny,
but it could have been some. I mean, dude, I should be a writer because I was thinking about like the banter, like Hulk can come on in and change up, and Barenthal and him can have some banter, like, hey, no hard feelings. I mean, there
Yeah.
could be all
There
kinds
could
of
have
cool
been. There
stuff.
could have been.
I
You're
know,
right.
but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But still, it would have been great to have him
And when they
back
split
a little
up,
bit more.
when they split up, and Spider-Man was like, Frank, don't shoot her. And he goes, he's basically saying, I'm gonna do it the way I want to do. Just go. And he goes, God, you're so frustrating, dude. It's so good. It's just so funny, man. I love it. I love that stuff.
No, I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, no, for sure. I definitely get what you're saying. It was action that we needed. It was Rage Hulk that we needed.
Yeah.
And I think Destin Daniel Cretton and Tom, they said, man, they were cruising the internet for a long time, listening to podcasts and listening to what the fans wanted. And so I think they did what they could of the best way possible to fit that Savage Hulk in there, with the villain being who it was, and in sense of the writing and the story, to bring Savage Hulk out like that, I would say, is probably the best way they could have handled it. And they knew, they knew that this is what we wanted. Like, they dug deep on the internet. They saw that the fans missed Savage Hulk, that they wanted the Savage Hulk back, and so they did it. And so I was glad that they did it, and just gave us that Savage Hulk action that we really needed.
That Hulk almost looked like it was bigger than even Avengers Hulk, the first one.
Yeah, I think someone said that. I don't know if it's a comic thing or if it's just a thing. I don't know, but apparently he was like 8'5". And Tom's only like 5'8", but still, when you're that big and brawling next to someone, like, he was like 8'5", and it was the biggest we'd probably seen. It was like Ang Lee's Hulk, dude.
I was gonna say Ang Lee's was probably the biggest one that I've seen so far. But then again, if you look at that mountainside one on the Norton Hulk, man,
yeah,
he's
huge.
Norton,
he's huge.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
when he's
you're
yelling
right.
at when he's yelling at the thunder,
yeah,
man.
I saw that clip the other day. I was like, yeah, that's so tough.
Just, man,
yeah,
crazy good.
All right, spoiler warning. If you have not seen Spider-Man Brand New Day, click off the video. But if you have, or if you just don't care, we're going to dig deep into some spoilers, so this is your official warning. Dad, I'm going to let you take it away. I know what your biggest gripe is, so I'm going to let you vent and complain like a baby for a second, even though you're wrong in my opinion, and I'm going to fight you about this, but go ahead. Talk about what pissed you off.
I said for weeks, cast after cast, it's not Jean Grey, and then it turns out it's Jean Grey, and it just kind of infuriated me. I don't know why.
Dude, you were so mad.
I don't know why they would introduce. I don't know why they would introduce the mutants like this, and they didn't even talk about her being a mutant. And then was that you saying something about just because she was on a bus in the forest that she was going up to the?
Well, yeah, like I'm assuming that's not a stretch, dude. Like, people assume that's where she's going. Where else would she be going?
They could have even mentioned it. If they would have even mentioned, hey, there's a school up north. We're gonna send you. This is a place where you can kind of, get some. Man, I would have cried with tears of joy if they would have just done that.
That would have saved it for you.
Basically just, and yeah, Sarah Gray, she was part of X Force or X Factor. She was a little bit of something, but man.
Dude, you're letting that affect the movie for you. Okay, here, how about this? You gave it a 6 out of 10. You gave it like a high 6s out of 10. You take Jean Grey out of the movie, or if it's not Jean Grey and it's something else, what happens? What's your rating for that?
Well, who would be who's the bad guy?
I guess that changes like the whole thing.
Yeah, that kind of changes.
Yeah, I guess that changes the whole thing.
What did I tell you the other day? This would have been a great movie for a setup for a symbiote. This would be the greatest Spider-Man movie on the planet if they just tweaked a little bit here and there and brought the symbiote in, and changed and tried to go to that story. You've got the Spider-Man that's all settled in and everybody knows him. He's brand spanking new, and then here comes, Eddie and man, we could have had a great Venom on that, or
yeah, but they're saving that. And plus, what are they going to do with the symbiote? We saw Venom The Last Dance, and I think the last little bit of symbiote was like hooked on a cockroach. How are they going to somehow bring the symbiote to New York?
No, I thought wasn't there a bar scene when there was a little symbiote that was left over when Eddie got zapped back?
Yeah, but I thought like the military confiscated it.
No, they confiscated the cockroach one, I thought. Maybe.
There was the broken vial that was at the very end credit scene, and then a cockroach like crawled up to it.
Now, I even met midway and thought, okay, well, maybe they're saving it because maybe they're going to do the, for Secret Wars, maybe they're going to do the suit fabricator, maybe they're going to do the suit thing. Well, the storyline is that there was a suit fabricator when Spidey's suit got so jacked up that he put it in there and he liked Spider-Woman's suit. That's why do you think Venom looks so much like Spider-Woman? With the big, if you look up Spider-Woman, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
The black and white
the
Spider-Woman
black and white suit,
looks just like Venom. And that's the symbiote took that on.
Dude,
on. So what's that?
My watch says relax reminder, your stress level's high. It's because you're pissing me off, dude.
I just and also the power set of Jean. I mean, I get it.
You leaned over and talked to me about a couple things.
I was like, why is that her only thing?
Well, she was jumping, and you looked over and you sat up in your seat, and you were like, it's not all about jumping,
yeah,
and or something like that. I was like, dude, he's so pissed.
I mean, she's borderline. I mean, Omega. I mean,
But she's young though. Like this is clearly Kid Jean. She's not like.
But Kid Jean wasn't even that. Kid Jean wasn't some vagrant.
We know, but like maybe her whole 33-foot jump is just because she's young and because she's just not fully developed with like her powers. Now
it's stupid,
dude.
They were in the park.
That dumb.
They were in the park, and the sister was trying to teach her how to jump, and the sister was clearly older. And I'm like, what do you mean? What's this jumping thing? Like, it's like that's the only thing you've got with your.
And I don't know the flashback too because they didn't show how many years back that flashback was. So it's like that could have been years ago, or it could have been a year ago, or whatever. I don't know, but no, I thought it was a fine.
It's stupid.
So my gripe with the Jean Grey thing, first of all, we don't see what happens to the freaking, and I don't know why I always forget his name. Let
me say this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I know she wants to find her sister. Why would you cause all of that other chaos? Why would you cause all that other damage and everything like that when you could easily just do what you need to do? You could jump. If you got close enough, you could jump into one of the guards. There's a more direct way that she probably could have gotten into damage control to find her sister.
I agree.
Or find out where it's at. So why would you create all of this real unneeded chaos and danger and everything? And, that actually makes no sense.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and that's what I was getting to.
Made her a bad guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, she committed murder. Like, she hopped into that. Not only did she hop into that old guy's body to taunt Peter, and then he gets absolutely plowed by a taxi. Now, they didn't confirm that he's dead. That taxi was pushing 50. All right, the dude's dead, right?
Dude's gone.
And then there's another clip, and of course they don't show them dead, and I think they did that on purpose. But when they're looking at the cameras, when Peter's looking at the cameras on his computer with MJ at Frank's boat, dude, she literally mind controlled the two guards to shoot each other so she could get in. So it's like I understand what her motives were. It was a very morally gray area because she was trying to find her sister. Now, yes, there easily could have been a better way to do it where she didn't commit murder to people. And to get in and find her sister, 1000%. I mean, dude, she got into that guard's body that was on top of the on the helipad when they were taking off a Scorpion at the beginning. Like, if you could get into that guy's body by jumping through 40 people and then being like, change of plans, we're gonna take him here, you could have found a way to get into the DODC and do that without committing murder. So no, I agree. That's an issue I have with the movie because they made her a flat out evil person.
Yeah, they had her being mad at the entire world when it was damage control.
And dude, and one of the most heart-wrenching scenes in that movie was up on the rooftop with MJ when Peter's fully convinced that she remembers him and he's hugging and crying and she's like, touch her, Peter. Dude, I lost it, dude. I was like, that's wrong,
that's
man.
Just cruel.
And even
man.
Peter was like, dude, if you knew how I felt, like,
yeah,
that's unforgivable. Like, they made her like way too much of a villain I'm all for like the introduction. The Jean Grey thing doesn't bother me at all. It's how they did it with her. It's how they made her this flat out evil villain and to do all these evil things just to still get captured at the end. And then you find out your sister's dead. And then now now she's seconds away from killing. I always forget his name. The black guy.
Yeah.
The main guy. I don't
think he's even in the character.
Really, I don't. Yeah, I know he's been. Yeah. I think he's been in other stuff, but I just don't remember his name. But anyways, and then she's on the verge of killing him, and Peter had to stop her from doing that. Like, golly, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I know that Jean Grey with the Phoenix and all that is a very morally gray character, but she didn't even have the Phoenix.
No,
Like,
that's years. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. And they just, in her intro movie is her being an absolute
Tool.
evil person. Like,
Yeah.
no, dude, I don't like that.
No.
But there's still so much of the movie that I loved outside of that.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
I
I'm not going to discredit the beautiful, the suit, the swing, the action, the relationships, and the scene when you leaned over at me when MJ poured her heart. Oh yeah, this part too when she's like, "I don't love you. I don't even know you, dude." And then she's like, "Can I get a ride home?" You said something. What you leaned over to me and was like, "Dude, he should drop her on the way or something."
Yeah.
You were like, "Oops, just slip out." Oops.
Yep.
But man, when they were up in the apartment talking though, and he was like playing with Legos with Ned, and it was just like good old times for him. Like, yeah, that was so good too.
Yeah.
That was so good seeing them back together like that, even though they didn't know. I guess we can talk about the end a little bit. Do you think Ned remembers him?
Well, he said Peter, so
Well, but he could know that he's Peter because when he said, "Hey, I'm Peter," MJ called him Peter when he took off at the house, and then Ned was like, "Spider-Man's name is Peter?"
Oh, that's true. I never thought about it.
Yeah, but even if it is, how would he do the handshake? How would he introduce himself as Peter, and then Ned have no clue, and then they do the handshake, and then he goes, "Peter?" Like, so it's like
maybe it did.
Maybe that muscle memory kicked in, and I don't know if you noticed this, but MJ was on top of the school holding her thing. I don't know if you know this, but when Jean did the whole thing and like everyone was frozen within like a mile or something, the theory is Jean, when people are frozen like that, Jean is like unlocking core memories in their brain. So the theory is that Ned and MJ, and you see a tear go down MJ's face. The theory is that like their memories are being unlocked of Spider-Man, of Peter, and that they're remembering all these things because the Ned with the handshake thing, and then right before that, MJ sitting on top of the school, which is where they hung out all the time, right? In No Way Home, and she's holding her thing, the necklace he got her from Far From Home, that black broken flower necklace.
I know.
So yeah, isn't that crazy?
So that trumps even the magic. And stuff. That's wild.
Yeah, so the theory is that she unlocked those memories, and but it's still weird because I don't know if she unlocked them fully, because if that's the case, then when Peter walked up to Ned would have been like automatically noticed him or automatically remembered, like, Peter, like, like they're best friends. But I don't know, the muscle memory thing with the handshake might have kind of kicked in it, like maybe made him remember, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, lots of fun theories out there, but yeah, that's our official review for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Have given our talk, has your rating changed at all, or are you still kind of sitting at that high 6s?
Maybe that high 6, low 7s. Again, it was great, and there were a lot of great things, and but it was a great movie.
So Jean Grey, with that being your biggest gripe, that takes it down that many notches for you?
Kind of.
Do you think that maybe over time, I feel like we'll watch it again eventually, but do you think over time, the more you let it set with you, the little thing, like, that might not be as bad, and you might like enjoy it, and it might kind of, the more you sit with it, the kind of better you'll realize that, like, yeah, I mean, maybe they do well by it, or maybe in the future, if they handle Jean Grey correctly in these other movies,
I would change it. You
think you could come back and be like, okay,
but like I said, it was the subtle things that they could have done, like even just mention that she's going to this school. Man.
Right,
give some props to that.
I get it.
But I'm such a big X-Men guy, so that's kind of again, to see that, and it's like, oh man, they kind of I
get it.
You just don't want that character done wrong.
Right.
And Jean as huge, I mean, I don't know. It was just kind of an underwhelming sort of.
Trust me, I agree. I don't think they handled her as good as they should have, and it would have been cool for them to mention the school, right? I mean, everyone knows the Mutant Saga is coming out in a year or so, and X-Men, Jake Schreier, who did Thunderbolts, he's directing that X-Men movie, and she's clearly going to be in it. So it would have been cool for there to be some sort of mention of the school. for it to make more sense, I guess, in terms of setting up the future.
Is this? I mean, was this a Sony? This wasn't a Sony
No,
flick, wasn't it?
well, I mean, Sony owns Spider-Man, but like it's MCU.
Oh,
It's yeah, like it's yeah. All of Tom's movies are MCU
yeah.
canon. But yeah, so that's it for our Spider-Man. You want to get into our rankings now?
Sure thing.
Awesome, let's do it. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
No, you can go ahead.
Let me go first. I'm gonna do this as quick as possible because we got a lot of stuff to rank. All right. So we're gonna do our Spider-Man movie rankings first, and I'm gonna try to bang it out within like a couple minutes or so. I'm not gonna harp too much on them, because I could go into great detail about all these movies for a long time. So I'm just gonna give my brief cliff notes on the little things I don't like and that I do like about these movies. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're typing.
I'm just typing something.
What were you typing? Are you fixing yours?
No, I was taking you out of my will.
Okay, all right. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're only doing 9 live You got the 9 live action,
Yeah.
right? From Toby to Tom.
Yeah.
All right. Number 9, I got Spider-Man 3. I think that movie sucks, dude. I think that movie's bad. I think the Venom is terrible. I think the Harry amnesia thing is dumb. Obviously, MJ sucks. I just there's a lot of stuff I can't stand about that movie. I think the best part of that movie is what is it? Is it Thomas Hayden Church? Is that his name? That plays Sandman. I think he's the best part about that movie. I think that's probably the best casting in that movie. And even just the little bits they touch on him and his family, trying to save his daughter because she's clearly ill and all that. I think that's just the best parts about that movie, but it's just clearly the worst overall for me. Number 8, I have Homecoming. Not a big fan of Homecoming. I think it's a good movie. All these movies, in a way, are good to me, and I love them all for their own thing. I'm not as harsh on the Iron Man mentorship thing. I think it's pretty cool. But a lot of these just have more Spider-Man elements to them that I enjoy more, and so I just have never been the biggest fan of Homecoming because of that. But I still think Tom killed it. I think he does great. There's just things in it I don't like, and I could go into more detail. And also, I think the Vulture is great, but I feel like he was kind of, in a way, underwhelming, in my opinion. But number 7, Far From Home. I think this movie is drastically overhated. I think it's a lot of fun. I think just because it's not in New York and you don't have that New York feel, I still think there's a lot of good elements to it. You finally see Peter trying to balance between wanting to be Spider-Man and wanting to just have his own life. He doesn't take a suit to Europe, but Aunt May packs it for him, and he still tries to ditch it. And then Nick Fury's constantly begging him to try to help him with this thing with Mysterio. And then the twist with Mysterio being bad, I thought that was fun. I didn't see that coming. Maybe it's just because I was younger and I didn't really think about it. But I love Jake Gyllenhaal, but I think the Europe stuff was a lot of fun. And the Night Monkey suit's kind of tough too. I've actually kind of I don't hate it. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, because he looks like a burglar. But overall, I think it's very overhated. Number 6, this is where I'm going to lose some people. Number 6, the first Spider-Man with Tobey. I think it's good. I'm not a Tobey fan. I think if Tobey's your number 1, take off the rose-tinted goggles. I'm sorry. I think people love him because of the nostalgia. I think he's a stale Spider-Man. I don't think he's funny. I think he's a good Peter Parker, good at best. And I think Green Goblin carries that movie insanely. If it wasn't for Willem Dafoe being Green Goblin, that movie would be, it's an origin movie, okay? But Green Goblin carries that movie hard on its back. That's just my opinion. Number 5, TASM 1. I think TASM 1 is very overhated as well. I think it's a great movie through and through. I think him and Gwen Stacy's relationship is way better than Tobey's with MJ and even Tom's with MJ. I think the Gwen Stacy love story is a lot more fun, and I think they handle it, and I think it's just a lot better in my opinion. I love the suit. Don't care what people say. We're going to do our suits after this, and you'll see where my ranking is for that. But I love the suit. I think it's overhated. I think the Lizard is a great villain. I think it's a good movie. I think it's a good movie. It's a good origin movie. Sure, the Peter Parker's not my favorite. I don't think Peter should be skateboarding in hallways. I think that's kind of dumb. But he is clearly the carjack scene in that movie is the solid proof that Andrew is our best Spider-Man. It is clear as day just from that scene alone. Number 4, TASM 2. I don't care what anybody says. I've been a TASM 2 defender since 2014, and I will never be proven otherwise. If you don't like the parent stuff, grow up. It is literally just a different route that they took. There are dozens of storylines that you could do with Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and just because they did one different where they showed a little bit more about the parents, I don't care. Like, it's not that deep. There's too much good in that movie to that outweighs the bad 1000%. And if you can't get over the parent stuff, then I don't know what to tell you. Quit letting social media form your opinion. Grow up. I will agree that Green Goblin is terrible and that was atrocious, but other than that, it's a good movie. And just figure it out. Number 3, No Way Home. I think it's great. I am pretty critically harsh on this movie just a little bit because I do think it's a little nostalgia baited. And if you take those other two out of the movie, it's a lot different, and it would have to be written a whole lot different. So I think with them being in it, it is a little that does bump it up for a lot of people. But I do think it's a lot of fun. I think it's great. But yeah, I mean, and my theater, and it's funny, I won't tell the story, but my theater experience was terrible. Like, no one gave a rip when Andrew and Toby walked in, and me and my buddy Gabe were flipping out. No one gave a rip, but we love the movie. It's a great movie, through and through. I'm just a little bit lower on it than everybody else. Number 2, I do have Spider-Man Brand New Day. Maybe it's recency bias, but I really did love it. I enjoyed it. I think it's some of the best Spider-Man stuff that we've seen in a live-action Spider-Man movie in a long time. And I think I just think it's going to get better the more that I sit with it and the more that I watch it. So it's at my number 2 spot. And my number 1 is Spider-Man 2. Arguably the greatest comic book movie of all time. One of the greatest written movies of all time. There's really nothing else to say other than it's pretty much perfect. So, all right. Yeah, now you can go. I'll just start your list.
All right.
We're at the bottom, so you're good.
Yeah. So starting out, number 9, Far From Home. Fun movie. Great. I like Mysterio. Great bad guy. Different kind of weird sort of origin for him. So, the movie was pretty close. Like the fact that we still had some Maria and some Nick Fury in it. Things like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it was an okay movie.
Right.
It
No, I
was
got
all right. 8, I've got Homecoming.
Okay.
So,
That surprises me, actually.
Yeah, I mean, great. I like it. I like the flashback. I like the video flashback, all that good stuff of him in Berlin and all that good stuff, and all that. The interaction with Happy is always funny and stuff like that, but, sometimes I always, like, even with the way Nick Fury was talking to Spider-Man, and then Happy acts like that. I know it's just comedy, but I'm like, dude, that's Spider-Man. He can tear you from limb to limb.
Yeah.
And all he cares about is becoming an Avenger,
Right.
shoot, he ain't got to become no Avenger.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Spider-Man, 7 was Spidey 3. Okay. Not bad. Again, great bad guy. Thomas Hayden Church, best Sandman, obviously. Great. I wish that he would have been in not Brand New Day,
No Way Home.
but No Way Home. But
he was at the end
voice.
after they cured him.
Yeah, and I wonder if that was
I
even.
hated that.
Yeah.
I wanted him to be in it. Like, I wanted to see Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah. But yeah, again, fun movie. I wasn't ever really a big fan of TASM 2 with the whole Dane DeHaan as the Goblin kind of thing. I wasn't a big deal, and so same thing when they put James Franco in as the Goblin. I wasn't a huge fan of that. And of course, we don't even talk about Venom with Lee press on nails and stuff like that. So 6 was Brand New Day.
Okay.
I put my Brand New Day at 6. Again, we don't need to go over it again, but just, good movie, great, one of the better Holland films, obviously. 5, I have No Way Home.
Okay.
So, again, you've got all 3, I mean, just the greatness that came from those 3 interacting and stuff. So, a lot of movie packed in to it, but it was still good. Not a big fan that they killed, May, so not a big fan at all that.
Okay, yeah, keep going. We'll talk about this another time.
4, Amazing 2. So I got my Amazing 2.
I actually love that placement. I love that placement.
Yeah, so just fantastic movie. Yeah. I love it. Andrew took a minute for me to grow on me because he's not the best Peter, but he is the best Spider-Man, and I like the best Spider-Man physique. I do. I truly do.
That lanky build, dude.
Just that lanky build, because
it
pulls the big eyes off, and man, it looks like a Jim Lee drawing come to life. Man. Or a Chris Claremont. I think it's Chris that does the big eyes.
No,
but anyway,
I thought it was Todd. Was it McFarlane?
Oh, McFarlane. Yeah, Todd McFarlane.
No,
too, man. Just fantastic.
Yeah.
3, I've got Spidey 1, just because started it all, man. I
Right,
love
right.
it. I
Yeah.
do. I really loved it. It was, I love it for the nostalgia because, man, that's what started your love for Spider-Man. I get all weepy, but
Do
man, it
you
was
really?
just, yeah, dude, because it was just like, man, never seen anything like that. I've grown up seeing different Spider-Mans here and there and everywhere. I mean, you always crack on me about my nostalgic Spider-Mans and stuff,
Mhm.
but to see it come on board like that, it
Yeah.
changed everything.
Yeah.
Two is my amazing one. So
Yeah,
my
you like
TASM one,
wow, okay.
yeah. So just you know, again, um, I didn't mind the origin in this. It was pretty good. There is a pretty heavy plot in some of the books of the parents and everything. At first, I wasn't a big fan of the whole super spy parent thing, planting all of that and Peter and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But I kind of got used to it a little bit, and I don't mind it. It's a twist on just old Uncle Ben getting killed, and now I'm going to be a wrestler. I do like the fact when he fell through the roof and all that stuff into
And
the
you see the map.
luchador and
Yeah.
all that stuff. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool. And then my number one dude, Spidey
Spider-Man
2,
2. Yep.
Spider-Man 2, man.
Love it. Yeah.
Just just everything about that movie. I mean, it scared the hell out of you because,
Yeah.
man, that operating room
That
scene, I was
operating
like,
room scene is crazy, dude. The
and
screaming
yeah,
from the nurses and
and
everything.
it's almost like a noir type film too, where it was just like, all these
Yeah.
just like rigid, fast movements, shadow movements,
Yeah.
people just getting laid to waste, and then of course
And
the train scene.
yeah. But in the operating room scene, there's no music.
No,
So it's
it's
dead
just
silent and it's
sound
screaming and
effects.
sounds. And that's what makes it so much scarier
Yeah,
is that there's no music. Oh,
yeah,
and then, yeah, you're right. The iconic train scene is just,
yeah.
it's the train scene, man.
And
Yeah.
there's some stuff like, okay, come on, because really Doc Ock is just a guy. Spidey hurls probably easy 20-pound bag of money at his head, and
Yeah.
he's snuffs it off.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, come on now, you know, let's go.
I saw that scene on
Yeah.
Instagram earlier. Yeah.
So,
That's
but
funny.
you also get the big reveal, which I really like. You get the big reveal, he's lifting up half of the warehouse and he's like, hi, that was just, to me, that was like a romantic slash
When
just like,
MJ's right. Yeah.
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 And
She
she's just
finds out who he
looking at
is.
him, So,
So
I mean,
good.
that was a great part,
It's so good, dude.
So,
Yeah. Nice.
but yeah,
Sweet.
Yeah.
You want to hop into suits now?
we can do some
Let's hop into suits, then we'll finish it up.
Yeah.
All right. These are my favorite suits. So I have 11. You have 11 too?
Should I have 11?
There's 11 of them. Maybe if I say one that you forgot, just add it
maybe
as I'm
so.
as I'm talking. I'll go quick again. Number 11, I have the integrated suit from No Way Home, which is that the gold suit that whenever he cures Doc Ock and he puts the nanotech on this suit, and it's just that big gold spider. I think that's the most hideous suit of all time. I think that suit is ridiculous. The colors don't match. I already don't like the black and red, and then when you put the big gold ugly spider on it, I think it's atrocious. Number 10, I have the inside out suit. When he gets covered in paint and they reverse it.
With all the wires
Yeah,
and everything?
I think it's so dumb. I think it's really ugly. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but yeah, I don't think it's good. Number 9, I have Night Monkey, the burglar suit. I think it was a cool concept. It didn't land for me like as much as it probably lands for other people, but it's cool. These are just better. I mean, the other ones are just better in my opinion because they're more Spider-Man. Number 8, I have Iron Spider. I've always been kind of a hater on the Iron Spider. I think it's cool because the nanotech, but I think if they went with which I don't know how they would have done it necessarily in live action, but I think the red and gold, the OG red and gold Iron Spider is just one of the best suits of all time. I think it's so sick. Number 7, Far From Home. That's the black and red suit. I hate it. I don't like it at all. I just, when I see Spider-Man, I want to see red and blue, or there's other variants that are cool too, but I just think the red and blue or the red or the black and red is just not that good. Number 6, I have a Homecoming. It's red and blue. It's just like the Far From Home, but red and blue, and I think it's better. But never been a huge fan of the vacuum seal type of suit. It's just, I don't know. And you have these little gray techie wires that are, or not wires, but they're like almost these techie lines that are integrated in the suit that just makes it look more techie. And I'm like, God, I just don't like it. I like the homemade stuff. Number 5, I have the symbiote suit. It's probably low compared to a lot of other people's rankings, but I think it's cool. and it definitely has aura. But
You talking about from 3?
yeah, I think it's at my 5. It's just not really creative. It's just the
Pretty
same
close to
suit but
that.
black.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I mean, it is cool, but I just
Oh, in fact, that is my 5.
is it your 5 too?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just realized that.
Number
Yeah.
4 is Toby's original. I love Toby's original suit. I think it's really good. I think it's fun. I think a lot of people hate on the eyes on that too, how they're real triangular and pointy, but I really do like them. Number 3, I have Brand New Day. I think that suit is absolutely spectacular. I think there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of the thick black eyeliner. My only con is just the eyes and how they look. And I think it's cool that they move because the rest of the suit isn't techie, but only the eyes are. So I'm actually okay with that. I've come to terms with that, and I don't mind it. Number 2 is TASM 2. Literally perfection. There's nothing I need to say about that. Like you said, he's got that perfect build with the big eyes, the long spider. And I just think it's one of the greatest comic book suits of all time brought to screen. And then number 1 is very controversial, but I love the TASM 1 suit. I think the detailing on it's incredible. I know a lot of people disagree with that. I got friends that disagree with that.
Just the eyes, man.
But man, I'm telling you, when you watch the movie, the eyes don't look yellow, man. When you watch it, a lot of the scenes, it's just like a grayish silver. Like you never really see that they're yellow unless something's reflecting on it that's yellow. Like it's the promo, like the promo art when the movie came out and the toys, that's when you saw that it was yellow. But when you're watching the movie, man, like you can barely tell that they're yellow. And I think just the detailing on that suit is just spectacular with the spandex and the way just the blue and the red. Dude, the color is a little bit darker than I prefer, but I still think the detailing just takes it over the edge for me. I love it. So those are my top 11 suits.
So I'm trying to remember because, man, I don't have memory.
Did I name some that you didn't have?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Everything. So because I had like let me see here, man. Because I got a couple of spots that were, because I started when you were mentioning a couple of them, I started adding them. Like I don't have an 11. So my 10 though, I didn't like it was Far From Home with the black and
red. Yeah.
Hated that.
Yeah.
I didn't like the black and red at all. 9 was my Night Monkey. Not a big fan. 8 was 8 was the Iron Spider. Not a big fan of the Iron Spider. Just because I like the old school.
That's what I was saying.
I mean, it was a great suit. Don't get me wrong.
But that red and gold original suit is just so good.
Yeah, and I guess to be honest, if we are rating like the Inside Out one would be my 11 because that was just hideous.
Okay, so that's your 11, and then
if we're adding that as a suit, then I'd make that my 11.
Then 10 is Far From Home.
Far From Home, yeah.
Then 9 is Night Monkey, and 8 is Iron Spider.
Iron Spider, yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah,
and so but I got to think because I still have a 7 spot open. Let's see what else you put down, but I'll put mine. Like 6 is just the Raimi Spider-Man with the 3D webs and all that good stuff. I love it. I put my Black Spidey at 5.
Okay,
so I think that's the same
that's where I
thing
put
you
it.
did.
That's where I put mine.
Just because, dude, it's a symbiote spider.
Yeah,
yeah, it looks exactly like that. Would I have liked to have seen it? But I understand why they didn't do that because
the white spider.
I respected the fact that they didn't throw the big spider up on it and all that good stuff because that hails from a different story,
Okay.
And so no different than the Venom not having it in the Venom movies either,
yeah.
So I got to understand that. 3 is my
wait, that was your 5.
Or 5
was symbiote.
Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. 5 was the symbiote, and then my 4. God, see, this is where I was missing because I know you did the 11, but I'll put this. My top 3 were my first one. My 1 was TASM 2, and then my second was the Brand New Day, and then I got TASM 3. I still like it. I still love
TASM 1
or TASM 1
at 3.
I mean at 3 and stuff. So I'm missing like 2.
Well, no, the only suit that you're missing is, you're missing Homecoming and you're missing the integrated Gold Spider suit. Those are the 2 that you're missing.
I guess I didn't even think about that. I mean, I'd probably even though integrated gold, I'd probably still do that one still. I'd probably do that at my 7. And then the other one was the what?
Homecoming suit, the normal red and blue.
Oh, yeah. I just put that then. I mean,
put it where?
Yeah, probably the 4.
Oh, yeah, 4. Okay. Yeah.
Just because it's at least red and blue and it looks, I forgot all about that integrated gold crap and stuff.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's awful.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Well, that was good, man.
Yeah.
That was fun. I've been waiting on this one for a while.
Well, I told you too, man. I watched Spidey 3. the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and man, I talk about Tom being the best Peter Parker, but dude, I gotta kind of change a little bit, dude.
His Spidey's good.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But I mean, man, who's the guy that plays in the Raimi movies?
Toby.
Toby. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, John,
Yeah.
my mind is gone. But Toby was a
Talking
pretty
about-
good Peter Parker, man.
Man, but he doesn't even hold a candle to Tom, bro.
No. I get that, but I don't have the same super ill opinion
That a lot of people have on Toby.
well, that I had on Toby because I'm watching him, and you want Peter. He's almost cringy to watch a little bit, Peter, just because he's so awkward and all of that. That's why, again, Garfield, best Spidey, but I mean, dude, he'd be one of the popular kids in my school. I mean,
yeah,
it just
she
was.
said that one time, and I thought that was so funny.
But
but why Spider-Man 3 is not the movie to watch where you're like, yo, that's a good Peter, because it's got the emo Peter with the dancing scene and the hair.
Now,
like that's the worst Peter though. Like Spider-Man 2 is the best. That's where you see the best Peter.
I get it. The thing about the whole symbiote thing too, and anybody can correct this, but I know that I'm right. But it amplifies once the symbiote felt the strength of like, oh my gosh, this guy is, once they found the strength in Spidey and everything, man, that's why it was so hard for him to get rid of him. But then they found the hatred in Eddie Brock for Spidey or for Peter, and that's what amped up Venom's thing, so the whole confidence boost, I would probably say that the symbiote was pretty much like on steroids when it was on Peter, and then it made Peter's confidence and everything else under the sun go through the roof. That's why he acted so chodish. So I mean, I can appreciate that, but yeah, man, those dancing scenes and the piano bar scene.
Oh, the piano bar scene's awful, dude. Awful, terrible, dude.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it's
so bad.
But it's just one of those nostalgic, iconic bad things where it's like, even though it's bad, you love it. You know? But there's just so much good it's going up against where it's just like it's just not up there.
No.
But yeah, that was fun, man. That was a great episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That's our official review on Spider-Man Brand New Day, and those are our current rankings for our favorite movies and our suits.
Few weeks too, man. They're starting to sell the tickets, man.
For Endgame?
Oh no, forget it.
Oh, Transformers.
40th anniversary of Transformers the movie, man.
Yeah, September's going to be fun because we're watching Endgame. We'll do a breakdown on what we feel about the new scenes and the Doomsday stuff. And then, we're going to do a whole Transformers episode once we go watch the 80s movie re-release. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, and just give us ideas for things you want us to talk about. But thank you guys so much, and we'll see you later.
See ya.